Hey guys, HW. If you hadn't guessed, I'm sitting on the stairs outside the Fullerton Hotel and the GPO in Sydney. I'm just facing Martin Place now. Let's start off with an Arvo coffee. So it's a bit of an afternoon film, this one today. I've picked up a takeaway coffee. There it is there. It's a flat white from Batch Coffee, and Batch Coffee is on the corner, or just up from the corner of George and Market Streets. I filmed it quickly in one of my previous vids. I think the one where I walked down, where I did Sydney's laneways. I actually pointed towards Batch and I said, I'll have to go there one day. So I did that today. So I've got a couple of people to thank that have sent through some coffees, which is crazy. So I want to take the opportunity, as we see this seagull sitting on that stairs there at Martin Place. I want to thank Jen K and also Jenny for buying me a bunch of coffees each, which is unbelievable. I really appreciate that. So hopefully you enjoy the vid today. We're going to start off, well actually I'm going to go inside here at the Fullerton Hotel and water the horses first, but after that I plan to do a little walk through the city, and then we're going to head down to the Harbour. And I thought, seeing I've done the sunrise, I thought today I might do the sunset. There goes the clock chiming above the GPO. Oh, no dongs for the time. It's a bit weird. It's a strange clock. Anyway, so yeah, look, I'll get moving on the walk soon, so hang around. So we've done the nectar first today, because it's getting a bit late in the afternoon. I haven't done the weather, have I? Let me get my phone out and check the weather. Actually, you know what? When I rejoin you, I'll do the weather then, and then we'll get going on the walk. Alright, I've ordered the horses down at the Fullerton Hotel, and I'm now standing, or I've leapt all the way up here to Macquarie Street, skipped through Martin Place, and I'm standing now in between the modern part of the State Library of New South Wales and the older part. And to kick off the walk here, start making my way down to Mrs Macquarie's chair to film the sunset for you. It's late afternoon, it's knock-off time, so people are starting to hit the roads, starting to make their way home. Who's this? This must be Governor Macquarie on here for sure, on this statue. Let's have a look. No, I was totally wrong. It's Matthew Flinders. There you go. I thought it might be Governor Macquarie, seeing that we're on Macquarie Street, but nah, Flinders. I always associate Flinders more with Victoria rather than New South Wales, but anyway. What about this statue? Who have we got up here? No, we've got a Lieutenant Burke. Sneak through here. So here's the older part of the State Library of New South Wales. Massive big, what would you call them, Greco-Norman columns out the front. Is that the right term? I'm not an architect, so. It's a lovely old building anyway. So we're going to make our way down to the Domain, and through the Domain we'll go past the Art Gallery of New South Wales. The Art Gallery of New South Wales, and then the Botanic Gardens. I might slip into the Botanic Gardens if the gates are open. If not, we'll just see them from afar. Look at all the punters down there on the expressway, all heading onto the bridge and into the tunnel to get over to the northern beaches and to get up the coast. Those birds you can hear chirping on the camera are lorikeets. They're those rainbow coloured looking birds that you see. They're pretty high up in the trees, so I'm not going to be able to capture them on the camera. Might get out onto the grass of the Domain. Place the camera back towards the city for you. Or part of the city anyway. Only since I've been filming for YouTube have I noticed how spread out the city is. Over the years I've always imagined the city being pretty consolidated into a small space, but as a collection of so many different building sizes, when you put them all together, they're actually quite spread out. As we start to lose light, hopefully the camera still goes okay. I was messing around with a gimbal earlier today, but I've only just realised that it's going to be quite difficult or a few more adjustments are needed to use it with the GoPro, because I'm going to, have to plug the microphone in as well. And I didn't think of that when I bought it. So it might be a bit of a patch-up job that I've got to do to get it working, but I'm certainly going to need to get that working when I do shots with poorer light, so that it gets a bit more stabilisation. I might just quickly stop here, face back to the city again, and just stop the film for a sec while I check a few things. Yeah, it looks alright. Should be okay. Yeah, but certainly when I go back to film King's Cross again, I'm going to need that gimbal, because I don't want to end up with a with the grainy footage that I did in the first King's Cross vid. Get a better picture for you this time. Hear the crunch of the leaves under my feet from the European trees. Just gave that guy a nod. Got his peace sign on the vid. I almost forgot. I was supposed to do the weather, wasn't I? So the weather today is 18 degrees Celsius, and apparently it's still 18 degrees Celsius now, late in the afternoon. 18 degrees Celsius, of course, is around 64 degrees Fahrenheit. A few people at this terrace bar and restaurant here having a few Arvo drinks. It's interesting. Yeah, the other thing is it's quite windy, so it's clear skies, but it's the wind's 24 kilometres an hour, or I think, what's that, about 11 miles per hour. And I think when we get down to the harbour, it's going to be quite flat again, because when the wind's from the west, it really flattens out the water. I assume that this part of the art gallery over here as well, this is a newer part that they've built on, which I haven't noticed yet. There's a few posters up for the Archibald Prize for this year. I'm not sure when that is, but it must be, I don't know whether it's passed or not. The banners are up anyway. Might cross the road here because I'm spying through the gaps in the trees down to Woolloomooloo that there's a few naval ships in port. So I might have a look to see what we can see down there before we head down to Mrs Macquarie's chair. That guy had his Western Suburbs Magpies jumper on. It's a lovely old tree, this one. Again, I might skip onto the grass here, get away from the punters on the footpath. There's another grand old tree, this one. Probably walking in possum crap and bin chicken crap as I walk along the grass here, but can't have it all my own way. There's lovely. There's King's Cross and my mind's not working. Anyway, that's King's Cross over there. There's buildings you can see over there. Was I going to say Darlinghurst as well? I'm not sure. I think I was trying to say somewhere, so another place. King's Cross, Darlinghurst. What's the other one I'm trying to think of? Oh well. Let me look at my map as I walk down here. Potts Point, that's what I was trying to say. And you knew it started with P. A noisy cattle dog. Doesn't like the look of that runner. Oh, here we go. We've got a little bit of a view of the ship now. I think it's that helicopter landing ship that the Australian Navy's got. There it is. Look at those lovely yachts or motor yachts down at the wharf there. It's pretty grand looking ones. More lorikeets chirping away. Again, I can't capture them on the film, they're too high up. I'll cross over to the sunny side. Getting a bit dark over here. You can see the bridge starting to appear through the trees there in the Botanic Gardens. Oh, there goes that carrot dog again. Going nuts. Barking at everyone. Oh, I can see down there they're starting to turn on the lights for that lightscape show that I filmed a couple of vids back. But I don't think they close the gardens until about 4:30, so we should be able to still get in there. Yeah, closing at 4:30, so let's have a little bit of a skirt through the Botanical Gardens as we make our way down to the end of the peninsula where we're going to set up to film the sunset. It's a bit of a touristy thing to do, I suppose, walk through the Botanic Gardens, but hopefully some of you haven't been here before and it's something new for you, and then maybe some of you got fond memories of it from when you were here, so hopefully you'll enjoy seeing it again. I'm laughing at all of the bits of tree that are sitting at the bottom of some of these I'm going to say the word trees again now. So these bits of trees at the bottom of the trees, but that's a telltale sign that the cockatoos have been around. Cockatoos love getting into the trees and ripping them to shreds. And that's what they've done with this tree here. See it all over the ground. There's the sun. We've found the sun. Actually, the water's a bit choppier than I thought. So the westerly wind should be flattening it out, but maybe it's just from all the ferry activity. Should we walk down this grassy hill? Yeah, go on then. That guy trips over, he's going to be in trouble. That's a lovely view through the gardens there up to the city. As we get closer to 4:30, the rangers will come around with their little golf carts and shoo everybody out of the park. I just called it a park. I meant Botanic Gardens. I'll shoo them out of the Botanic Gardens. Tell you what, it's blowing a gale now. Feels a bit a bit harder than 24 k's. And now we exit the Botanic Gardens. I'll just get a quick shot on my phone here, give us a sec. Alright, away we go again. There's always plenty of tourists along this walkway, making our way around to the chair. They'll probably be doing the same thing. They'll be, oh look, that bird just caught a fish. Got it in its beak. Be down the gullet soon. Speaking of gullet, I tell you what, I put that coffee down my gullet pretty quickly before. I take the opportunity to correct an error that I made earlier. I said that that batch coffee shop was on the corner of Market and George. I meant to say Margaret and George. So if I remember, I'll text it over the video as well. So Margaret and George. So cheeky stairs up there. Someone looks like they've got a sheepdog at the bottom. There's what they call the Manly Fast Ferry. Doesn't look that fast, but trust me, it's a bit quicker than the normal ferry. Alright, that's it for now on this little bit. I'll start it back up as the sun starts to go down. Here's the spot I chose to do the sunset. Might whack the camera up here, face it back this way as the sun starts to go down. There's a few tourists around getting happy snaps. The actual Mrs Macquarie's chair's on the other. I don't know whether you can see that coffee stand over there. But on the other side of that coffee stand is the actual Mrs Macquarie's chair. She's carved into the rock. It's really blowing now, so I'll wait till the sun goes down a bit more so it's not blaring into the camera, and then I'll start filming. Starting to get a little closer. Got a bit bored, so I flicked the camera back on so I can show you all the punters are starting to arrive to capture the sunset. There's a lot down on the grass down there that are trying to get a view as best they can under the middle of the bridge. So a few people rugged up, especially on this seat down here. They got their hoods up. But everybody's waiting for the sun to go down. Sun's about coming through the bridge now. So I'll be looking forward to that going away so I can get some better shots. See you soon. Even closer now. The sun hasn't got too far to go before it disappears behind the Blue Mountains and the Opera House and the bridge. Plenty of ferries going backwards and forwards now. There's an old tall ship over there, passing right in front of Balmoral. Had to correct myself again there. I said Balmoral, I meant to say Kirribilli. Kirribilli is the government house over there that the tall ship passed in front of. Making a few mistakes today. Must have the old foggy brain from that delightful virus that I've been suffering from. Might face over this way towards the city again. I forgot to mention earlier, I wanted to do this vid yesterday, which was the shortest day of the year, the winter solstice in Sydney and Oz, but it was raining, so I couldn't do it. So doing it today instead. Hopefully not too much longer and the sun will stop shining into my eyes and I can put the camera down. I don't know whether you can see, you probably can't, but there's a team of people up the top of the bridge doing the bridge walk at the moment. I wonder if I can zoom with this camera. I can't while it's on anyway, so I won't bother. Starting to get close enough to sundown now. It's only a few minutes left before the sun will completely disappear. Start to see the silhouette of the Opera House directly in front of us. Plenty of people getting happy snaps around me. Some down there. Some over here on this side. Plenty of people sitting on the grass. Up behind me, there's people. I changed location, as you see. I was over there before on that ledge, but there was too many people, so came over here instead. So hopefully the camera's picking up some of the colours, but that's sunset in Sydney for you on a winter's day, one day after the winter solstice, shortest day of the year. It's going to be a ferry in a minute come around the corner near the Opera House. That'll provide some entertaining shots. There it goes. And that'll pretty much do me, because I've only got shorts on and I'm freezing my absolute, I'm not going to say it, but I'm freezing something off. Some parts of my anatomy. I'll stand up in a minute and show you all the punters around me, and then I'll get moving on back to the city and get home. Sneak back through the fence. That coffee shop over there is closed. I wouldn't have minded another nectar because I'm absolutely frozen. I wonder what the temperature is now. It's down to 16 degrees Celsius now. Feels like 10. Feels like 10 with the wind chill. That's a native magpie. Is it a magpie? What are they called? No, it's a native minor bird. The native minor birds are grey. And then we've also got imported Indian minor birds, which are a brown colour. They're a pain in the neck. I really wish the government would put a bounty on them. Get rid of them because they've pretty much killed off all the sparrows around Sydney. We used to have sparrows once upon a time. They're all gone because the Indian minor birds destroyed their nests, competed with them. But we've still got plenty of the grey ones, the native ones. They don't take any nonsense. They attack everybody and everything when they get a chance. There we go. We might end here. Just on the edge of the Botanic Gardens, Mrs Macquarie's chair, looking up to the city and Centrepoint Tower. Thank you for coming on the little skirt today. Started off in Martin Place, went up to Macquarie Street in the State Library. Then we went over to Domain, through the Domain, through the Botanic Gardens as well. And then down to Mrs Macquarie's chair to capture the sunset. So now you got the bookends. You had the sunrise the other day, and now you've seen the sunset. So, till next time, the video is over.